talk. I want to make clarification on the misconceptions about on the misconceptions about male figure and female figure in geomancy. But before I continue this discussion, I want us to understand that this discussion is primarily on Eastern geomancy, not Western geomancy. The reason why I quickly make this different this clarification is that there are some little difference between Eastern geomancy and Western geomancy when it comes to male figure and female figure. Some figure are male figure in Eastern geomancy, they are not male figure in Eastern geomancy. There are some figure in Eastern geomancy that are female figure, that they are not female figure in Eastern geomancy. Where there are some figure that were in Eastern geomancy, they are male figure. Likewise, in Eastern geomancy, they are male figure. Also, there are some figure in Western geomancy that is female figure, and when it comes to Eastern geomancy, they are also female figure. So, but there are some little difference. But this particular discussion is purely based on what Eastern geomancy, and the same thing. This clarification I want to make still applies to both either Eastern or something. The same clarification goes to both parts, because like I have said in the previous video that the difference between Eastern geomancy and Western geomancy is not really it's not necessarily for negation sake. It's just explain worldview difference. So in the essence that when you understand geomancy to some extent, you will find Western geomancy in Eastern geomancy, because Eastern geomancy, but that is not where we are going. Geomancy is a very thick subject, it's a very extensive subject. So let's focus on today's topic, which is like making clarification on the some misconceptions about male figure and female figure in in Eastern geomancy. Now, the figure you are seeing here, all of these figures are female figures. This is represent female, all of them. The rest that you are not seeing here are male figures. You understand? So the same thing. I don't want to populate this sand. I don't want to populate this sand with all of the figures. But I know that once you know the 16 geomantic figure, any other one that is not here are male figure. All of the one you are seeing here, they are female figure. So the purpose of this chart is not to show you male figure or something. It's just to make the clarification, which is what I'm about to say now. So which explains the reason why I didn't write the rest of the figure. So I just bring out all the female figure. Now, what is the misconception and what clarification am I intending to make on this? The misconception here is that when you say a figure is a female figure, you automatically it means that we automatically assume that that figure represents implies a female person. If a figure means that is what we usually tend to mean, or that is what we usually assume that this is what it means. Whereas this figure, anyone I point is a female figure. This figure is not female in itself. The female aspect of this figure, it's rather its attributes. It's rather its attributes. Not necessarily that this figure is a female something. It's rather as if you want to know something is a female or something, we have house of female, which is house 7. So if you want to know maybe it is a female person that do something or there about that has to do with what female, we have house for that. We have house 7 for that. So don't confuse attributes with the real something itself. Yes, I don't confuse attribute with the real something itself. These are female figure, fine. These are female figure, fine. But the female aspect of it is not as if this figure itself is a female. Because if you say this figure is a female, it means that this figure cannot talk about man. Let's say a querent is let's say a female person comes to you now and is asking about relationship. You now go to our 7, you now find a female figure here. Does that mean that person is asking about a female person? A female person comes to you, automatically you know that house 1 is the first house of the person asking you question, and it's asking about relationship. That means asking about man, isn't it? I now go to house 7, which is house of relationship. Now the figure you now find there is now a female person, whereas the person is a female. The husband or partner should be the person is a female. The husband or partner should be a male. Now you now find a female figure in there. Does that mean that what that person is asking about is a female person? Or let's say a man comes to you. A man comes to you now asking about relationship. You now go to house 7. You now find a male figure in house 7. Does that mean the man is asking about a male person as a partner? A man, though it's possible because we now have gay, we have lesbian. No, but let's come to, let's say the man come and is asking about a female person. You now go to our 7. You now go to our 7. You now find a male person there. Does that mean what the person is asking about is a male? No. So don't confuse attribute with the real stuff. So these are female figure, right? Yes, but doesn't mean that the figure itself is female. So I hope you are getting the excuse me. I hope you are getting the point. Confuse attribute. Don't confuse attribute with real stuff. Do you understand? Now, if you know how to use, now let me now don't let me quickly make. So that is the quick clarification there. That you shouldn't confuse attribute with what the real stuff. However, there are some quotas. Don't misinterpret this. There are some quota that will tell you that what if you want to know who did something, go to this something. The figure you find, if the figure is a male, that means that person is a female. If the person is the figure there is a female, that is quota. That doesn't mean that statement, that quota is wrong. Don't confuse it. Because the primary purpose of you asking that question centers on that. That is this person a male or female? Which means that well, you are asking a question about what you don't know. The chart is to tell you what you don't know. So if you now find a female figure or male, that means you are asking about what you don't know. Then the figure there automatically. But what you already know, this figure will the gender of this figure will serve as attribute for something you already know. This figure will stand or will mean an attribute for something you don't know. But something you already know, this figure will not stand as male or female. Maybe somebody you're asking about who is do something. This figure can then tell you. Do you understand? It's telling you. So it is an attribute. Do you understand? It is an attribute. And there's a way we interpret a chart. There's a way of interpreting. There's a interpretation of chart using attributes. Do you understand? There's a word. So don't confuse. I hope I've been able to make that clarification that these figures are male figure or these figures are female figure, but they are female figure based on attributes. Let me now give you how better to even express this, to even give you more clear or more better understanding about this. A female figure implies that figure may imply that, well, let's say, let me give you that example I used. Let's say a female person comes to you to inquire about relationship. You already know that well is ourselves. Though there's a corridor for that, there's a proper way of doing that. But the simplest or the easiest way is ourselves, isn't it? So let's say that is the method you want to use. Maybe you are using a Western method or whatever method. Let's just go straight to the point. Let's say a female person comes to you, a female person now asking about relationship. Now house 7, which is the house of self, house of relationship. You now, if it was a female person that comes to you, automatically that this is house, this will be the house of what? House of a man. Now you now find a female figure in house this one. House this place. He's telling you that well, this person, for the relationship to remain balanced and good, the person should maintain gentleness. It's not telling that person must be gentle, because when you are using attribute, like I've discussed in one of the previous video prior before now, that what attribute don't tell you what something should be, doesn't tell you what something, doesn't tell you good or bad. It is giving you advice, guidance, how things should be done for you to maintain what, for that thing you are inquiring about to be good or to be much better. Let's say a man comes to you now to inquire about relationship, and under this house 7, You now find a female figure. You already know that a man, house seven will be for a female. You already know that the house seven is a female. So you now find a female figure there again. So it's not telling you that that person is a female. That will be a redundant answer. That will be something you already know. So he's not telling you about that person is a female or again. He's telling that female, that woman person, that partner, that woman should maintain gentleness for the relationship to last. If it is about relationship you are asking about, if that question is about relationship, tell me that female should maintain gentleness for that. He's not telling that person is gentle. Even if the person is gentle, he's not telling you that person is gentle. No, he's telling attribute is not telling you good or bad or wrong. He's giving you advice, guidance. That is what attribute using attribute to interpret a child usually does. I've explained how to use that in one of the previous videos I've done earlier. So I hope without overstressing this, I hope you have gotten an idea or how to go about it. If there's other question, you can further excuse me, excuse me. If there's further question, you can further ask because question will make you understand much more better. So thank you very much for taking your time to listen to the video from the beginning to this extent. May your life never be useless as you like, comment, or share my video. So thank you very much. You can also subscribe to my YouTube channel. So whenever I make a post, you can always get notification that a new post has been posted. So thank you very much. May God be with you.